So, Sam, how was your high school experience? Me personally, I won a state championship, so I had a great time. How was your high school experience?
We did not win a state championship. We went to state my junior year for the first time in our program history, so that was kind of cool. We got matched up with the other best team in the state the next round. I mean, it should have been the championship game. That got matched up in like the quarterfinals. So ended up losing that one. And then my senior year got to the same point, but they had changed like sectionals and stuff, so we didn't make it to state technically, but it was still the quarterfinals. So I mean, we had a pretty good year. A couple good years, and we're pretty good overall. Like always competing for conference championships and stuff like that. And like I said, made it to state once, and obviously didn't win, but would have liked to. That'd have been fun. Winning's fun.
Yeah. And you, Dejza?
It was pretty cool. I also did not win any state championships,
No rings.
unfortunately.
No rings.
Our point guard got hurt pretty late in the playoff run, but we did get a couple league championships, like 2, 3. That was a long time ago now. I don't know how you guys remember any of those, but I think we got 3 league championships. So yeah,
Winning enough.
light work,
Yeah.
It's light work.
And then, Sam, the offers you had come out of high school?
My last couple, University of Iowa, where I ended up going, Vanderbilt, Kansas, Marquette, DePaul, was talking to Stanford a little bit, but they can't offer you. They're like an Ivy League school, like you have to get in before you can get offered. So those are like my last 5 or 6.
Do you
Narrow it down to.
have any regrets? Do you wish that you went to somewhere else?
I don't have any regrets. I mean, I think sometimes you always do the what if, like obviously Stanford's a perennial national title contender. That's really the only one that I'd be like, okay, well, what if I would have gone there? But I don't regret it at all. I mean, we had a great run when I was at Iowa. I met some of my best friends there. My coaches were phenomenal. I mean, you hear a lot of stories about coaches being crazy and not treating you like people, and my coaches never had that. Like, they really are, like, top-notch, like, women. And, I mean, our whole coaching staff was women, which I thought was pretty cool. Strength coach, athletic trainer. So, I mean, I don't regret it at all. I would probably do the same thing. I mean, I would do the same thing over again. But more so the what if, not, like, wishing to do it, but you think about it sometimes. But mostly, it could have been, but like I said, I wouldn't change it. We went to a Sweet 16, played in Big Ten championship games. Again, no rings, unfortunately, but now they're getting them now, so that's cool with me.
I'm still waiting on mine.
Yeah, the Hawks are winning them now, so I'll vicariously live through them now, I guess.
Right.
So, who did you have come out of high school, Dejza?
I had a couple offers. I had quite a few. It came down to ultimately 2 schools, Utah and Arizona. And actually, my first offer ever was from University of Pacific. It's like 30 minutes away from my hometown. And they were on me from the beginning. We had such a good relationship. Like, I didn't feel like a coach-player relationship. It felt like almost family. Yeah. But they were just like way too small of a school. I just couldn't get myself to go there. And it was way too close to home. So I ultimately told them no. And then I went to Utah and Arizona last. And I was picking through them. And I picked Arizona. But my dad really wanted me to go to Utah, though. And I was like, I'm not going to Salt Lake City. There's no way.
Can't do it.
As a black person, it was just really hard for me to go to Salt Lake City. So I went with Arizona, and crazy thing, a year later, the UOP head coach got the head position at Utah. And so if anything said that I made the wrong decision, it was that. But no, I enjoyed my time at Arizona. Tucson is like a bomb city.
Yeah.
Just a college town. I shouldn't say city. I don't think it's a big city at all. But college town, the fans are awesome. I love the school. Weather was great. We didn't win a lot.
Now they're winning.
I mean, they were in the championship game. So they got a championship. What was it? NIT. They got an NIT championship, and then they played in the championship the next year. Mm-hmm. So that was awesome, but was not a part of that. Was not a part of that.
A part of it, building block.
Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like I'm a part of it.
One thing when I was doing my Googles, my research, and I was, looking up you guys' careers, I had no idea that Sam, you were so decorated in college. Just, some of the things. Only player in NCAA history to accumulate at least 1,500 career points, 800 rebounds, 800 assists, and 200 steals. It's pretty impressive.
When I feel like you can.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Numbers,
Tell us, please.
That is crazy.
I feel like those stats are a little. I mean, it's cool to be like someone that's only done something, but like I feel like if you be like, okay, if it's 180 steals instead, like someone else is there, or like 10 steals, like so they like. They find those. Yeah.
You find something that's only
me, but. Like I said, if they do 1,400 points, or what is it, 1,500 you said?
Yeah,
if they do 1,400 points instead, like, maybe all of a sudden there's 25 people that have done it. So it's like, I feel like that about all the stats. Like, all these, ESPN has crazy stats, like, whether when an NFL team or an MLB team plays on a Tuesday and it doesn't rain, they're 13-0 in February or something. Like, okay, like, what does that have to do with, that's how I kind of feel about those. I mean, like I said, it's kind of cool to have, like, something that only you have done technically, but I'm sure it's been passed by now. I'm sure someone else has that stat. But at the time, it was cool. I mean, people like to use that. Like SIDs like to have those kind of stats around.
I would definitely wear that on my chest.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Should I get a shirt?
You should get a shirt.
Definitely should be on the back of the shirt.
That's pretty.
That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
That's historic. And Dejza, I know you told me earlier in the season that you had tore your ACL your freshman year.
I did preseason freshman year. Yeah, it was deep.
Do you remember how it happened? Because I remember how mine happened.
I just came into the game off the bench, and it was like the first quarter.
Game?
It's a preseason game. Just came in, and I don't know. I was excited. I wanted to shoot. That I'm always offensive minded. I wanted to shoot, and I took a quick shot, and I wasn't supposed to shoot it, and I knew I wasn't supposed to shoot it, so I knew I had to go get the rebound. And I ran after the rebound and lunged to get it with, 1 foot ahead of the other. And their point guard just dove for the ball into my knee and tore it. In that game.
Did you know?
Yeah, right away. Yeah. I heard the pop.
I heard
the pop. And I mean, I've never torn my ACL before, but it's just something you know right away. They pulled me off the court, and we had a doctor on the game, and he, did the ACL test, and he was just like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's torn. And I was, how do you know? Don't you need don't you need an MRI? And they were like, yeah, but there's tests we can do and stuff. But I was pretty distraught. I didn't even want to tell this. So at this point, it was like early in the game. So now halftime comes around, and he's like, you want me to call your parents? Like, I'll let them know what's happening. And I was like, no, I was too scared to call my mom and dad to tell them. And my coach actually beat me to it. Before the game was over, she had already called my parents and told them. When I called my parents, I think my mom was like in tears, or my dad. One of them, and I was, it was horrible. Yeah. But I thought I'd get that red shirt back. I thought I'd get that year back.
Because you only played 10 games, right?
Not right. Many.
No, it was like, what's the percentage? It's like 30% of the season or whatever. Yeah. So what happened was they told me I was going to get the year back, and then I wasn't supposed to put in for it until my junior year came around or whatever. And junior year came around. So this whole time I'm thinking I'm getting the next year. Then junior year came around, and turns out that 4 minutes that I played in that game put me over
30%.
The 30%, and I did not get my year back. So
and not knowing for that whole time.
Right.
Like,
so
really
like
mentally,
it's like you move different. You know what I mean? If I knew I don't know. I loved my coach. Nia Butts was amazing. She played under Pat Summitt under that championship team. Yeah. She was amazing. I think the team wasn't a good fit for me personally. Mm-hmm. Coach was amazing. Mm-hmm. All the coaches were amazing. But I probably would have excelled elsewhere. And I probably would have transferred knowing I only had 3 more years, but
you thought you had 4.
I thought I had more. And, and then the new coach came in my senior year, Adia Barnes, and she's also awesome, but we had 6 seniors at the time. So at that point, you're trying to clear house and trying to make a new team. You're building a new team. You're not really...
Well, you got to change something. Something probably was. If you weren't being successful,
right? Exactly.
The coach comes in,
right, and she's done awesome, and she's done great. I mean,
yeah,
she's done amazing. So kudos to her. But in the long run, it just didn't work out like I wanted to for myself. But that's okay.
Yeah, my ACL, it birthed this channel, this podcast. It showed me also like that I did make the right decision. Like we're talking about, if you would have changed something about going to your school, because when I tore mine, I was already overseas.
Right.
So it wasn't like you where you had the doctor to check on you.
Right.
I'm over here in practice. They sit me over here on the side. I got this.
You toured in practice.
Yeah, in practice. Got this like 20-year-old doctor, physio guy over here. He just put some ice on the back of my knee. They just keep practicing. And my coach from my college, he took care of me, let me rehab there. I got to do the surgery there, so I barely had to pay anything. And like during my career, I feel like I would have been better somewhere else. But knowing like how things turned out in the end, like it was definitely the right decision, because they still took care of me. I know like I'm still good there. Like I still have a relationship with them to this day.
Right.
So sometimes things like that just show you like the decisions aren't just about the right then and there. It's about the long term too, and like building a connection, a family, and those relationships.